high value under the current circumstances to force junglers to play uncomfortably. RRQ going to be on that blue side, already banning out the Baxia and the Fanny, so focusing on that hero pool on the opposite side.
Interesting. Interesting. It is just Gar, though. I am curious to see what they're going to do with this, right? Because if this is insider information or something that they prepared for... there we go, finally, the Guinevere. So this is premeditated. So they really want to make sure that not only a flex pick is out of the question, but there's some very direct lines of how they're going to attack TR. And a lot of that is going to come through the jungle. But usually when we see teams ban out like quote-unquote junglers, they start to contest for the mid duo more.
Yeah, I definitely can see that being the case, and that is why the Zeus Sin is gonna be the final ban on the side of Team REY. They got rid of Freya and the Marcel beforehand. The Valentina is open, Eve as well, both very solid mid laners. And looks like it's going to be the Valentina. And a little bit of a fun fact for all of you guys. Tora means tiger in Japanese. That is where the name comes from. But will they be the tiger or the snack?
That's very Malaysian. That I don't want to have to explain. I don't want to have to explain the joke, but it's all right. It's all right. It's good to know that Tora actually means tiger. Did not know that. Really thought it meant something else, or there was a different association. Well, I mean, considering the boss of RRQ, like, he's named his organization based on, like, important things in his life, right? So this feels very, like, Tudor to the Malaysian audience.
Definitely, for sure. The Valentina, though, we already saw the issues with picking this too early on, and if T-Ray has the correct hero pool, they can play around it. But they will go ahead and grab that Leomord as well as the Hilda we mentioned earlier.
Really surprised that they didn't want to take the Hilda early on. But at the same time, now we have to actually think, because this opens up potential for like EXP laners who actually dominate, and that could open up jungle pathways for RRQ later down the line, knowing that Hilda's going to kind of be in their face. Same problem. If we look at from RRQ's POV, that Hilda could just go into EXP, which seems unlikely, but you never know with the Malaysians. They roll the dice a lot.
It's possible. We know there's a lot of local players that enjoy playing the Hilda in the EXP lane, but I wouldn't really consider Siska to be one of them.
Yeah.
So I feel
like he's good on kind of anything.
Yeah, he's so good on playmakers especially, so putting him on Hilda feels like a bit of a waste, but that means that Sora is open, along with the Suyo for RRQ.
I'm actually down to Hilda versus Sora, because it's such an unwinnable lane for Sora. It's like you can commit everything and still not kill the Hilda at the end of the day. That's the frustrating part about it. So unless they want to, you know, take away Siska's playmaking capabilities and put him on a hyper peel roll, it'd be sad, but at least with Phoveus, there's a little bit more that can be done here. And my guess, he's going to build full tank.
I would think so as well. We did already bring up the Thunderbelt earlier. I feel like it's possible as long as the laning phase goes well enough, and would allow Siska to be more of a damage threat once we get into the later stages.
That's under the assumption not only he wins the lane, but he purposefully doesn't break the tier 1. Like, he sticks in the lane on purpose to farm those stacks against Sora, if that is the case.
I mean, it's not necessarily. If you're confident enough, you can start farming stacks by joining team fights. A lot of it does depend on whether Hilda and Leomord will be able to create enough space, but if they do, these are heroes that create a lot of tempo.
Is it going to be good enough? Wait, let me think about this for a moment. Would I rather to be halfway through a Thunderbelt on the first hurdle rather than just have a Dreadnought armor? That's a tough call. It's a tough call. I think I would go for the Dreadnought armor, but then the potential of having like 15 stacks and like almost getting at least 40% of a mid laner's HP doesn't sound that bad of a trade-off either.
I think it really does depend on how well the laning phase goes. And we know that Siska plays a pretty mean EXP, so there's a chance, but it is very dependent. There is variation in how that build can go, and it also depends on what the rest of his team needs. If they already have sufficient damage overall, then he could probably bypass it.
Yeah, or if they're winning so hard, they can go into War Axe, and I think that's where the game gets really, really fun for Phoveus players, especially when the enemy team is delayed on the Glowing Wand and the Dom Ices. Second half of the draft, however, a lot of like CC-heavy things. Hylos, pretty good ban here overall for the Sime Team REY, but then I'm looking at RRQ, they're getting rid of the Zetienne, which I would only assume. Why do they need the Vision? Are they looking to cancel out other artillery mages?
It's possible, but I wouldn't also think that heroes like Barca were enough of a priority. I guess Eve is also something they could be looking at, but they already have the Valentina.
And more so, Zetienne is like, what do you ult and then I ult? What? Nothing happens at that point with Eve.
Like, I can understand maybe respecting the Zetienne if you're playing Fredrin, for example.
Oh, but then if you are
But
going...
they have Suyo.
That's the thing. If they are, unless it's like counterplay towards it, potentially, I don't know. I just don't see it happening, right? Team REY has already showed that they got the Leomord in their hands. They have a way to quote-unquote play the early game. I'm not sure whether it's going to lean more into the gold laner here, but the fact that they have Hilda, they can lead in any direction. And Kimmy ban from RRQ, really, really nice stuff.
So good focus onto the mid lane here. Valentina is one of the stronger ones now, but will still have difficulty against poke-heavy mid lane mages. So getting rid of those will give Kim a slightly better time. Now the Yi Sun-shin will get picked up. And in the first match, we talked about how Lolil was the first person to actually go for that Yi Sun-shin gold lane many seasons ago.
Yep. Whether or not it's going to be good enough. If I'm facing against Yi Sun-shin, what's a gold laner here that deals well against tanks? I mean, carry makes sense-ish, sort of, but at the same time, it's so short range that dealing with like a Leomord in your face, I think you might want Claude a little more. Oh, actually, maybe Moskov even. You can push them away, I suppose.
It looks like it will be the carry. And that sounds like a glue. One of the common counters to the Phobia. So this is not the Sora EXP, it's Sora Roam.
No. It's got to be Sora EXP Glue Roam, right?
Roam. But then Glue matches up into Phobius a lot better.
I agree that he fits much better into the Phove, but it's not like
but Sora
impossible.
Roam level 1 versus Hilda is terrible.
Exactly why I think Glue is going to be the one, right? Because if not, why get it? Why get it? Like,
fair
you
enough.
have, like, in terms of raw displacement, we only have 2 ways to displace. One doesn't really count because it's a Terrify, so it depends on where you're standing, and then you walk away from it. You can't consistently hit Leomord off the steed. And there we go. Finally, the Farsa does eventually come through. So this is what they were trying to lean into, which is kind of interesting. I'm not entirely sure why they wanted it to go in this particular direction, right? Because I think that even if Zetian was let through, that's not a bad ult to steal either.
Yeah, definitely not. Now, the Paramis could have been a possibility to counter the glue, but I think they were okay with that because they have the Valentina.
Yeah, they're just lacking damage, right?
The NetherRealm versus is always going to be a thing.
It's always going to be bad. It's always going to be rough. It's always going to be bad. I don't know. When I'm looking at this draft, the first thing that I'm thinking of is the early stages of the games of Team REY, right? There are a lot of ways to make things actually work in their favor if they make the timings line up. Level 4 is what we're expecting it to be for Team REY. Same goals for RRQ TORA, but it's the battle of the supports that will make the difference.
If they can create enough space early, that's going to be huge in order to carry them into the mid lane and hit that scaling timing with their item power spikes. But ladies and gentlemen, it is time for us to jump right into the land of Dawn once again. We got RRQ TORA on the blue side up against Team REY on the red.
Yep. You guys need to come here to Quill City Mall live because then you can actually see the front-facing cameras of each of the players with each individual Ozbots who both of them happen to be looking at our Marshall right now.
Curious.
Oh no. I think they may have, they haven't noticed it yet, but until then, grab your QR codes as they fight for the first Lethal Wanderer of the game.
Patrick taking a lot of damage here, but Glue is still going to be a very annoying hero to deal with. Litho will be secured by Team REY. We've already pointed this out, but Team REY is the team that ideally wants to create a bit more space early on, especially with Ivan on this Hilda.
This has got to be so frustrating. Because for Martese, he can't just hard shove the wave, and for Ivan, he can't really help with the concussive blast because then he's gonna get locked down and lose too much life to just glue on top of Kim. That's why they're just holding up their abilities, right? They want Ivan to show.
Definitely, and Ivan, even on the Hilda, not able to do so too safely. The poke damage from Valentina Glue early is deceptively high. And now Gary's nearby as well. Looks like Team REY knows there's some potential funny business happening.
Yeah, but considering that both junglers have already finished their clears, they should collide now. I don't know.
They're engaging on Super Yoshi. They force the flicker out. Gary comes in, but knows he's outgunned, so he will back off.
Yep, really good call there. Very, very good call. And a huge resource actually being lost for Juskar. I think at this point, Juskar, whether he can test for the turtle or not is going to be dependent on the EXP, and that's why more resources being dedicated by Team REY to ensure that at least the EXP laners can get involved.
Gary was able to steal that crab away from Jesgar. Now gonna be the first one to control the turtle. Ivan comes in, takes so much damage. Here's the lightning form from the Sora, forces the flicker out. Siska resetting the turtle at least. Ivan looking for chance, not able to get that last hit. Flickers forward, gets the shifting skies, but the Feather District finishes him off, and the Phantom Sea comes out as well. Kim gonna need to back this off and abandon the Super Yoshi, who's one hit away from death. Jesgar should be able to finish this. No! He gets the tower in time, and now the Feather District is stolen! The bounce back from RRQ.
Beautifully played by everybody across the board. Really nice stuff here by RRQ. But at the same time, Gary, he is playing counter initiation. He is not trying to start things up against Team REY. He wants Jesgar to do his thing. And so far, with that being said, a level lead for the jungler right now. And Gary, he knows he doesn't want to be in this position. Team fights can get a little hard. They're just waiting for the ults to come back.
Gary going to scout things out. Siska and Ivan on the turtle currently, but Super Yoshi is back. Glue is really such an annoying hero to remove, especially without anti-heal. He's already level 4 as well, so there's the risk of being dragged back. Dyron is here. Ivan engages on Kim, drops him below. Feather District comes out, but the lightning form is in the backline. Martisi in danger. Dyron finishes him off. Jesgar grabs the glue, and Gary grabs the turtle at the same time. Team REY dropping low, but they'll at least trade for the Sora. But is it worth it? Ruff picks up his first kill onto the Hilda, and he's even doing more poke damage.
Yeah. There was a moment they could have thought about going back in there, but Siska understands, hey, as soon as Carry pops that ult, there's no need for me to be there. I'm not playing Vengeance. All I got is Peel, and if I have to use my Flicker, then so be it. With still gold plating available, all laners haven't really gotten too much. It's a lot of it just comes down to rotating and team fighting, less of individual leads other than Gary.
And Gary is perfectly okay with that. This is a similar style of play to when he was on CG as well. He plays a very controlled jungle style. In the top lane, they are engaging on Siska 1v2, and he has to commit. He has to try and buy as much time as possible, but I don't think he's winning that one.
Yep. Really good setup from Dyron, and now the next trade is Super Yoshi flickers away. Oh no.
He jumps back in on Jesgar for the HP. This is gonna be very awkward. Yep.
The poor guy. All he had to do was just get over the wall. No. And now Kim losing so much pressure just because of that.
Sometimes you just want to ride a horse as well, Gideon. You know?
Mom, it's only 25 cents, I swear. It'll only be 5 minutes.
So maybe you should make sure someone else isn't on it too.
Oh no. Wait, hold on. Ruff
actually doing some good damage here.
Really good light wheel there. TR just kind of didn't do anything. Like, I was expecting Martisi to maybe trade flickers, but I think they're playing a very safe style of game. I want to see whether Team REY is trying to stick to the book as well, because I know, at least for RRQ TORA, they've adjusted the rules a little bit, changed the parameters, make sure that Gary is the counter engager. Team REY, very standard.
I think both teams are playing to their own strengths currently. RRQ TORA, you can see the discipline, the communication is there, and they have a lot of resources to work with how tanky Super Yoshi is. Team REY has already missed a bit of a window to get an early snowball going, but as long as they don't fall too far behind, they're still okay. Here comes Dyron, they get the stun, Turtle already at half HP, Siska comes in, Jesgar on the flank as well, but he's instantly zoned out by Dyron. Feather District can be used, Gary secures the Turtle, he's stuck in the pit, but he dashes back out, and Ivan goes down to Ruff. The damage from the carry is too much, it's a killing spree for the Suyo.
So far, so very good for Ruff. Man, Ruff's light wheels have been impeccable, right on the target, hitting multiple targets at the same time, and Team REY are just not reacting well to it so far.
This is just the type of game that Ruff loves to play, right? If his team is tanky enough, he can walk as far forward as he wants to do his damage. It's only 6 minutes in, and the carry is already 2-0.
There needs to be some kind of punishment here for the side of Team REY. They have access to Feathered Airstrike, but it's been a real struggle to get it off consistently, not knowing where Dyron is or whether all of a sudden Super Yoshi decides to flicker forward, right? Many ways to cancel the Feathered Airstrike. So really, I think that Team REY, their best setup for a fight has to be around the turtle.
think so as well, but even that is difficult. Ivan in trouble, the shifting sky is doing so much damage, and Hilda drops. Feather Deathstrike already whiffing, but Jesgar looking for the kill onto Dyren. He's dashing out, but the horse should chase him down, finish him off. Is it worth it though? Ruff gonna be able to melt him away, and they're gonna have to abandon Siska as well. It's a mega kill for Gary.
Team REY needs to stop defaulting right now. They are listening to the calls of Ivan, and they are doing very, I don't want to say bot things, but let's just look at the instant replay, right? If you look at the minimap almost straight away, you can notice the positions of where everything is happening, right? As soon as Ivan gets caught here, both Glue, alongside with Suyo, alongside with Carry, are already walking up after pushing down to the bot side. Gar should have known that he should have gave it up at that point of time, but he's too deep.
And I like the call from Super Yoshi as well to just instantly engage on the Phobia since he knows that the Leomord is 100% dead. So RRQ TORA operating incredibly well right now, and Team REY looking a little disconnected. I feel like this Hilda unfortunately isn't doing much for them.
I mean, considering how the early game went, now Gary has 4 kills, very not well. Not great. Not great for the most part. They didn't want to sacrifice that mid space, and this is what happens.
Ooh, do you really want to be there, Ivan? Gonna get caught by the glue once again. Jumps right on, tries to flicker away, but nope, just pulls you straight back. Killing spree for Ruff. Feather Deathstrike to zone out RRQ TORA, and Dyren just eats all the damage like it's breakfast.
Yup, and this carry pick now really showing its fangs. Hilda does not stand much of a chance against it, even with flicker as well. Siska very, very nervous about these types of positions. He himself had to flicker out in that previous engagement. And now we see that Team REY are forced to stick together, right? Defaulting at this point of time, sending multiple people into many different lanes. You need to show up for just a split second, because so far RRQ TORA, they've been sticking for 5, and they're sending their feelers out into the enemy purple side jungle.
They're really making good use of this glue roam right now. One of the tankiest heroes in the game, in fact. And Team REY is feeling that. They've already finished the Chastised Baldrin as well on both Super Yoshi and Dyren at the same time, so Team REY doesn't have enough damage to work through anything.
Yeah, I didn't realize how far ahead Dyren actually was. He's 1.6k ahead. That is a ridiculous amount. I thought maybe 800 probably would have fit the build a little bit more because he's 2, 3, and 3, but he's been actually farming up at a pretty decent rate.
Super Yoshi can literally just stand there, take all the damage he needs to provide information. Flickers in, gets the stun, and Lolil is gone. Here comes the catch from the Sora. Finds 2 into the knockup. Feather Deathstrike doing good damage, but is it enough? Ruff already picks up the double kill, and Dyren is still alive. He's able to walk out scot-free.
Damn, big chunks. Big chunks. And right now, Ruff, he's having the time of his life, unpunished as he walks through confidently with 4 other members to support him. Pillars to make sure that this roof does not collapse just yet. And Team REY, this is such an awkward time for them to not only lose Siska, but worse yet, feel the power spike of RRQ TORA as they start hitting their second items, third items even for some people.
This game already spiraling out of control. We're looking at a 7k goal lead in 10 minutes when Team REY has heroes like Leomord, Barca, and Hilda, who should be in control at this stage. But RRQ TORA has made their presence known, a free Lord in their hands.
With Lord in their hands, let's see how they break inhibitors, right? Because this is the best setups for Lords. No side lanes to worry about. Only on the top side there's a single T2. But wait, whoa! Yo! Are we fighting this hard just for purple?
They really want to commit that? They're going in. It's a nice dark wave, but is the damage sufficient? Look at RRQ TORA. They're just surviving everything! And Team REY is melting! Like cheese on a hot car hood! Martisi left by his lonesome, being chased down by Sasuke of all people. It's a monster kill.
I can see the memes. I can see it already. I can imagine it. Clippers out there, you know what to do. All they have to do to get a good meme about Team REY that at this point, purple buff over losing a game.
And it looks like they're just going to be pushing straight in right now. Dyren does drop. Probably a little bit unnecessary, but it's still fine. It's 3v3 situation. Lord has already taken the inhibitor. RRQ TORA does not need to stay any longer.
Yeah, I think at this point, the only thing I need Team REY to do is really talk about the way that they're going to fight and why they are fighting. I think a lot of the times we see these newer teams, they fight out of instinct and they don't really understand, like, what are we doing here, right? Like, the Lord is going to spawn anytime soon. The longer the fight drags on, the more hurt you're going to be for when the Lord actually spawns and gets to your inhibitors. And ideally, you end the fight before or after that, right? Within the first 10 seconds of impact.
I'm gonna be honest, I feel like this is already a GG scenario for Team REY. I don't really know if they have the right tools for stopping RRQ TORA's push. Ruff is very farm 7-0, Gary's perfectly fine as well. The only way they turn this around is if Lolil can somehow get a huge gold influx from picking up multiple bounties.
Well, I think it's gonna be a little hard. Dealing with Super Yoshi and Dairon, like, together is hard enough. He could probably 1v1 a good chunk of them with the exception of Ruff.
Perhaps, but even then, you're not gonna get those situations. The one, like, you're hoping for a 1v1, RRQ TORA is not gonna give it to you. Their positioning has been very clean.
I mean, they've given up on the default, right? Dairon is standing right next to Ruff. He's got Super Yoshi in the wake. He is following what he literally wrote on his hands. The only one who's allowed to be individually selfish, or at the very least do his own thing, has to be Gary. Because he knows that if he shows up first, he gets 100-0 straight away.
Yeah, I think Gary's timings have been great, and it's been a lot easier for him to find those opportunities because Super Yoshi is so difficult to remove. And he's only got 2 items completed in 2, so this glue is only going to get more sturdy.
Yeah. Second question, why are they allowing Team REY to walk out here? Like, Team REY should not be able to get out of their base. Like, touching this wave, there should be some kind of tax. Like, well, then again, the missing mid inhibitor doesn't really change that fact. But I'd like it, at least for RRQ side, hey, interact with them when they show up on the map. We've got a pushing wave down bot that Gary can handle, so all we gotta watch out for, Lord Pit, top side, and mid lane.
I do feel like Super Yoshi could be scouting a little bit more aggressively here, walk up into the jungle, since you're probably not gonna die even if all 5 members are there. Team REY being allowed to have a bigger presence than you would think.
Yeah.
Oh, do you really want... Oh, they're trying to go for the concealed flank, but Gary's already finished off the Lord. Kim does drop quite low, but here comes the shifting sky. Dairon gonna be able to finish off Siska, and now they're diving into the back line. Just Scar gonna be grabbed and fed to Ruff. It's legendary double kill for the goal laner of RRQ TORA.
That's got to be upsetting. Very, very upsetting for Just Gar. And even Martese, they did not give him any space to play this entire game as they close out the first round. Ivan finally falls 20-7. RRQ TORA, these young guns, invested in by the kingdom, take game number 1.
We are seeing some very clean, controlled aggression coming in from RRQ TORA in their very first game of MPL Malaysia Season 17. Stopping Team REY from being able to play at all for that.